Hi everyone, in this set of videos we're going to go over a concept in JavaScript called destructuring, and it's not something you need. I'm going to say that right outright. Destructuring is what's known as syntactic sugar, meaning we can write it a different way, but with destructuring it's nice and it gives us a little bit of quality of life. So let's go over what destructuring is. So for this first there's two types of destructuring. And the first type I'm going to show you is object destructuring. And that's the destructuring that we're going to see most commonly. I feel like in my career, it's what I've used most often. The other type is array destructuring, but you don't see that quite as often except in certain circumstances. So let's do object destructuring first. So let's pretend that we have a, actually let's do a quick fetch call, right? So let's do get user, and I'll take a username. We'll make this async, and we'll do a call to the GitHub API like we've seen before, api.github.com/users/$username, and we're going to make this a template literal, and then we're going to console log user, right? So we've seen this before. It's just a HTTP request with fetch to the GitHub API, and we're going to await the response and log it. So if we open this up, let's link our tag. And run this. You'll see we get a response of, I also forgot that this is actually the response. And then the user is going to be response.json. There we go. So let's refresh this. And here I am. So this is the information from my profile. Now, you built an assignment like this, right? Where you had to do a call and you got some information and you could get a user's profile. So this is going to be hopefully familiar. So if we want to grab, let's just go for a few things. My login, my company. So we can log user.login, user.company, user. Avatar URL, that's fine. And let's do user.location, sure. And so hopefully you're noticing, and I kind of alluded to it a bit, that you have to do a little bit of repetition to get access to these things. So user.login, user.company, we're repeating user. Because that's where all these keys live and we want to get access to them. That can get a little tedious. Now before ES6, before destructuring, one way that we could go about making this a little cleaner maybe is we could do something like this, and we do just some refining. We're basically making new variables and grabbing the values from these keys and putting them in these variables. So that saves us from having to do this a couple times, but it's still not that good because I basically have to make 4 variables. So you can refresh, it's still the same thing. I'm basically making variables for each one, which is not as good still. And so enter destructuring, what we can do essentially, so user's the whole object. We can use this curly brace syntax and we can pluck the keys that we want into their own variables. So here inside the curly braces, I name the keys that I want to grab. I want the login key, the company key, the avatar URL key, the location key. And now in one line, I can do what would have taken me 4 lines of individual variables. And because of that, I can get rid, and actually let me comment this out just so you can see the comparison. This one line does the same thing as these 4 lines. We're basically making individual variables for each one of those keys on object and grabbing their data. But now we don't have to do user dot 4 times. And it saves us a lot of typing, right? You probably remember your templates where you were pulling a ton of information. So that can be very useful. And I'll actually do another video showing you how useful that is. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.